Would you love to experience an easygoing lifestyle in the United States where you can take things slow and enjoy a less hectic pace? While the U.S. is often known for its bustling cities and daily hustle, some states offer a much quieter and laid-back environment. In today's video, we'll explore the 10 emptiest states in the United States where you can escape the crowds. Welcome to our channel, where we take you on journeys around the world. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Stick around till the end to see which states made the list. Without further delay, let's dive into the list. Number 10, Nevada. Nevada, with a population density of just 28 people per square mile, is characterized by its vast deserts and numerous ghost towns. The state's landscape is dominated by open land that tells the story of a place not easily tamed. While Las Vegas shines brightly with its neon lights and bustling activity, much of Nevada remains starkly different. Beyond the famous Strip, the state is defined by extreme conditions and challenging living environments. A significant factor contributing to Nevada's sparse population is that 80% of its land is federally owned. This includes massive military bases and large swaths of desert that are not open for development. Such ownership limits private development and economic growth in many areas, contributing to the state's overall emptiness. The land that is available for development often faces harsh environmental conditions, making it difficult for communities to thrive. Nevada's landscape is dotted with over 100 ghost towns, remnants of past mining booms that once brought people to the state in search of fortune. These ghost towns now stand as silent witnesses to the challenges of sustaining life in such a harsh environment. The state's economy, heavily reliant on tourism, particularly in Las Vegas, does not support widespread population growth outside of its urban centers. Despite its challenges, Nevada's open deserts and ghost towns offer a unique allure for those interested in exploring the untamed wilds. The state's distinct character, shaped by its extreme conditions and historical remnants, provides a stark contrast to the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas. This duality makes Nevada a place of intrigue and stark beauty, but one that poses significant challenges for long-term habitation. Number 9, Montana. Montana, with a sparse population density of just 7 people per square mile, is renowned for its expansive and awe-inspiring mountain scenery. The vast open landscapes provide a picturesque backdrop that draws outdoor enthusiasts and nature lovers alike. The state's natural beauty, characterized by its majestic mountains and pristine wilderness, is truly breathtaking. However, this rugged terrain also presents significant challenges, particularly during the harsh winters. Heavy snowfall and extremely cold temperatures can make daily life difficult, deterring many from settling permanently in this scenic state. Despite its low population, Montana experiences a relatively high crime rate compared to the national average. This can be surprising given the state's rural and sparsely populated nature, but it adds a layer of complexity to life in Montana. Economic opportunities are also limited, particularly in urban sectors. Many young residents migrate to other states in search of better career prospects, leading to a brain drain that further impacts the local economy. The job market is often centered around agriculture and tourism, with fewer opportunities in high-paying industries. Montana's historical past is vividly illustrated by the more than 100 ghost towns scattered across the state. These abandoned settlements, mostly remnants from the gold rush era, add to the state's charm and mystique. They tell stories of past economic booms and busts, reflecting the economic challenges that have led to their abandonment. While these ghost towns are fascinating for history buffs and tourists, they also symbolize the economic hardships that continue to affect the state. Number 8, North Dakota. North Dakota, with a mere 11 people per square mile, epitomizes the notion of vast open spaces. This sparsely populated state is known for its harsh weather conditions, which include brutally cold winters that can be a significant deterrent for potential residents. The long, frigid winters are characterized by heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, creating challenging living conditions that require resilience and fortitude. In recent years, North Dakota has experienced oil booms, which have brought a temporary influx of residents and economic activity. The discovery of oil in the Bakken Formation has drawn workers and businesses to the state, leading to a period of economic growth. However, this boom has not significantly altered the long-term population trends or the overall sparse settlement patterns. The oil industry's cyclical nature means that the population can fluctuate, and the economic benefits are not uniformly distributed across the state. North Dakota's economy is primarily focused on agriculture, with vast fields of crops and livestock farms dotting the landscape. This agricultural dominance shapes much of the state's rural character and contributes to its low population density. While farming remains a vital industry, it does not offer the diverse job opportunities found in more urbanized states. As a result, many young people leave North Dakota in search of better career prospects elsewhere, further contributing to the state's low population growth. Attractions and entertainment options in North Dakota are limited, with few large cities and a predominantly rural landscape. The state's remote towns are often separated by vast distances, making it challenging for residents to access a wide range of services and amenities. This lack of attractions and social opportunities can make North Dakota less appealing to those seeking a vibrant and diverse lifestyle. Overall, North Dakota's combination of harsh weather, an agriculture-focused economy, and limited job diversity contribute to its status as one of the emptiest states in the U.S. Despite the temporary boosts from oil booms, the state remains a land of wide open spaces, with a rural charm that appeals to some but poses significant challenges for long-term population growth and economic development. Number 7. Idaho. Idaho, with a population density of just 22 people per square mile, is a state defined by its remarkable natural beauty and rugged terrain. Boasting more than 100 mountain ranges, Idaho's landscape is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. The scenic beauty of its mountains, rivers, and forests provides a stunning backdrop for those who appreciate nature and adventure. However, this ruggedness also presents significant challenges for development and habitation. A substantial portion of Idaho's land, approximately 60%, is federally owned. This includes vast national forests, wilderness areas, and protected lands that limit private development and economic growth. The extensive federal ownership restricts opportunities for urban expansion and infrastructure development, contributing to the state's low population density. The federal land policy, while preserving natural beauty, also means fewer areas are available for residential and commercial use. Idaho's infrastructure is limited, particularly in its more remote and rural areas. The state's rugged mountains and dense forests make building and maintaining roads, utilities, and other essential services difficult. This lack of infrastructure can hinder economic development and make daily life more challenging for residents, especially in less accessible regions. The state's economy is also less diversified compared to more urbanized states, with fewer opportunities in sectors like manufacturing and technology. Wages in Idaho tend to lag behind national levels, reflecting the state's economic structure and limited job opportunities. The agriculture sector, once the backbone of Idaho's economy, has become increasingly mechanized, reducing the number of available jobs. As a result, many residents find that employment opportunities are neither plentiful nor high-paying. This economic reality often leads young people to seek better prospects in other states, contributing to Idaho's low population density. Number 6. Alaska. Alaska stands out as the emptiest state in the U.S., with an astonishingly low population density of just 1 person per square mile. This vast and remote state, often referred to as the last frontier, is characterized by its extreme weather conditions. Winters in Alaska are long, dark, and exceptionally cold, with temperatures often plummeting well below freezing. These harsh climatic conditions make life challenging and deter many from settling in the state. The limited infrastructure in Alaska further exacerbates the difficulties of living in such an isolated environment. Roads and transportation networks are sparse, with many areas accessible only by air or water. Utilities and essential services are similarly constrained, which can make daily life more complicated and less convenient than in more densely populated states. The state's rugged terrain and vast wilderness areas pose significant obstacles to infrastructure development, maintaining Alaska's reputation for remoteness. Living conditions in Alaska are notably expensive, driven by the high cost of transporting goods and services to its remote communities. The geographical isolation and harsh weather contribute to increased costs for necessities such as food, fuel, and housing. Additionally, building and maintaining infrastructure in such a challenging environment further adds to the expense of living in Alaska. These high living costs can be prohibitive for many potential residents, limiting population growth. Alaska's economy is heavily focused on extractive industries, including oil, gas, and mining. These industries drive much of the state's economic activity but do not necessarily support widespread population growth. The jobs created by these sectors are often specialized and located in remote areas, which may not appeal to a broader workforce. Furthermore, the cyclical nature of the extractive industries can lead to economic instability, with booms and busts impacting the state's overall economic health. Before we proceed with the next 5 emptiest states, kindly subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. This means so much to us. Number 5, New Mexico. New Mexico, with a population density of just 17 people per square mile, is a state of striking contrasts and diverse landscapes. From the rugged mesas and vast deserts to the towering Sangre de Cristo Mountains, New Mexico's natural beauty is undeniable. However, this diverse geography also brings significant challenges, particularly when it comes to water scarcity. The arid climate and limited water resources make it difficult to sustain large populations and agricultural activities, contributing to the state's low population density. The transportation infrastructure in New Mexico is limited, especially in rural and remote areas. The state's vast and varied terrain poses challenges for building and maintaining extensive road networks and public transportation systems. This lack of transportation infrastructure can isolate communities, making it harder for residents to access essential services and economic opportunities. It also hinders the movement of goods and services, impacting the state's overall economic development. Economic opportunities in New Mexico are primarily concentrated in government services and tourism. The presence of several national laboratories and military installations provides jobs in the public sector, but these opportunities are not evenly distributed across the state. Tourism, driven by attractions like Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and the state's rich cultural heritage, contributes significantly to the economy. However, the tourism sector is highly seasonal and concentrated in specific areas, limiting its impact on widespread economic growth. New Mexico faces high poverty rates and limited job opportunities, particularly in specialized fields. The state's economy struggles to provide diverse and high-paying employment options, leading many residents to seek better opportunities elsewhere. The lack of job diversity and economic mobility contributes to the state's low population density and can make it difficult for communities to thrive. Additionally, the state's remote and rural nature can exacerbate social and economic inequalities, further impacting population growth. Number 4, Wyoming. Wyoming, with an extremely low population density of just 6 people per square mile, embodies the vast and rugged spirit of the American West. Known for its wide open spaces and breathtaking landscapes, Wyoming is a state where nature dominates. Nearly half of Wyoming's land is owned by the government, including large national parks and wildlife reserves. This extensive federal ownership restricts private development and limits the opportunities for urban expansion, contributing to the state's sparse population. The harsh winters in Wyoming, characterized by heavy snowfall and bitterly cold temperatures, create a challenging environment for residents. These extreme weather conditions can make daily life difficult and deter many from settling in the state. The infrastructure in Wyoming is also limited, especially in its more remote and rural areas. Building and maintaining roads, utilities, and other essential services in such a challenging environment is difficult and costly. This lack of infrastructure further hinders economic development and can make life more challenging for residents, particularly in less accessible regions. Wyoming's economy is heavily reliant on tourism, which plays a significant role in the state's economic activity. The presence of iconic national parks like Yellowstone and Grand Teton attracts millions of visitors each year, providing jobs and revenue. However, the tourism sector alone is not enough to support significant population growth. The state has limited job opportunities outside of tourism, and economic diversification remains a challenge. The dependence on tourism makes the economy vulnerable to seasonal fluctuations and external factors that can impact visitor numbers. The state's rugged terrain and vast open spaces add to its unique charm but also pose significant challenges for development and habitation. Wyoming's low population density and limited infrastructure mean that residents often live far apart, with communities separated by long distances. This isolation can make it difficult for people to access services and opportunities, further contributing to the state's low population growth. Number 3, South Dakota. South Dakota, with a population density of just 12 people per square mile, is known for its vast fields, rolling plains, and iconic landmarks. The state's rural character is shaped by its agricultural landscape, which stretches across much of its territory. Harsh winters and limited economic opportunities, particularly in specialized fields, drive many residents to seek employment and better living conditions elsewhere. The cold, snowy winters can be long and challenging, adding to the difficulties of rural life in South Dakota. Economic opportunities in South Dakota are primarily centered around agriculture, which remains a vital part of the state's economy. However, the agricultural sector offers limited job diversity, and many young people leave the state to pursue careers in more urbanized areas. The lack of specialized job opportunities and economic diversification contributes to South Dakota's low population density and ongoing population challenges. The state's landscape is dotted with over 200 ghost towns, reflecting the historical economic challenges that have led to their abandonment. These ghost towns are remnants of past mining booms and other economic activities that failed to sustain long-term population growth. They stand as silent witnesses to the state's fluctuating economic fortunes and the difficulties of maintaining thriving communities in such a rural environment. South Dakota's harsh winters further contribute to its low population density. The long, cold winters with heavy snowfall make life difficult for residents and can deter new settlers from moving to the state. The combination of challenging weather conditions and limited economic opportunities makes it difficult for South Dakota to attract and retain a larger population. While South Dakota boasts attractions like Mount Rushmore and the Badlands, these landmarks alone are not enough to drive significant population growth. The state's rural character, economic limitations, and harsh winters present ongoing challenges to its efforts to increase population density and develop more diverse economic opportunities. Number 2, Kansas. Kansas, with a population density of just 36 people per square mile, is a state where agriculture reigns supreme. The state's flat plains and fertile soil make it one of the most agriculturally intensive states in the country. A significant portion of Kansas's land is dedicated to farming, which shapes much of the state's rural character and contributes to its low population density. The dominance of agriculture also means that economic opportunities are heavily concentrated in this sector, with fewer options for employment in other industries. Kansas is home to over 300 ghost towns, which stand as testaments to the changing economic landscape and population shifts over the years. These abandoned settlements reflect the challenges of sustaining communities in a state where agricultural practices have become increasingly mechanized, reducing the need for a large labor force. As farming has evolved, the population in many rural areas has declined, leading to the abandonment of towns that once thrived. Despite its agricultural abundance, Kansas faces significant challenges in terms of economic diversification and job opportunities. The state's economy is heavily reliant on farming and related industries, which limits employment options for residents. This lack of job diversity can make it difficult for Kansas to attract and retain a larger population, particularly young people seeking careers in other fields. The limited opportunities outside of agriculture often lead residents to seek employment in more urbanized states, contributing to Kansas's low population density. Kansas's climate also plays a role in its population density. The state experiences extreme weather conditions, including severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, and hot summers. These challenging weather patterns can make life difficult for residents and impact agricultural productivity. The combination of harsh weather and economic limitations presents ongoing challenges for population growth and development in Kansas. Number 1, Wyoming. Wyoming's vast open spaces, extensive government-owned lands, and harsh winters make it the emptiest state in the U.S., with just 6 people per square mile. The state's low population density is driven by a combination of factors, including its rugged terrain, limited infrastructure, and economic reliance on tourism. Nearly half of Wyoming's land is owned by the government, including large national parks and wildlife reserves. This extensive federal ownership restricts private development and limits opportunities for urban expansion, contributing to the state's sparse population. The harsh winters in Wyoming, characterized by heavy snowfall and bitterly cold temperatures, create a challenging environment for residents. These extreme weather conditions can make daily life difficult and deter many from settling in the state. The infrastructure in Wyoming is also limited, especially in its more remote and rural areas. Building and maintaining roads, utilities, and other essential services in such a challenging environment is difficult and costly. This lack of infrastructure further hinders economic development and can make life more challenging for residents, particularly in less accessible regions. Wyoming's economy is heavily reliant on tourism, which plays a significant role in the state's economic activity. The presence of iconic national parks like Yellowstone and Grand Teton attracts millions of visitors each year, providing jobs and revenue. However, the tourism sector alone is not enough to support significant population growth. The state has limited job opportunities outside of tourism, and economic diversification remains a challenge. The dependence on tourism makes the economy vulnerable to seasonal fluctuations and external factors that can impact visitor numbers. Wyoming's low population density and limited infrastructure mean that residents often live far apart, with communities separated by long distances. This isolation can make it difficult for people to access services and opportunities, further contributing to the state's low population growth. Despite its challenges, Wyoming's vast open spaces and breathtaking landscapes offer a unique appeal for those seeking solitude and a connection to nature. Conclusion: these states offer unique landscapes and a slower pace of life, but they also come with challenges such as harsh weather, limited infrastructure, and fewer economic opportunities. For those seeking solitude and natural beauty, these emptier states provide a distinct and serene living environment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more travel and lifestyle content from around the world.